Welcome to the Denim and Pearls podcast. Business casual conversation laced with pearls of wisdom. Casual, authentic, unscripted dialogue about life, work, and entrepreneurship with the perfect blend of laughter and seriousness. Pull up a chair, kick back, and lean in as we welcome your hosts, Michelle Mross and Brian Swanson.
Hello, my name is Michelle Mross.
And I'm Brian Swanson.
And we are Denim and Pearls. We are business casual.
With pearls of wisdom.
From the porch.
Yeah. So how are you today?
I'm tired.
Tired?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've been doing a lot of tripping.
I've been doing a lot of tripping.
From here to here and there to here. So what are we talking about? We are talking about You Don't Even Know My Name.
You don't even know my name. What song is that?
There's actually a song called You Don't Know Even Know My
You
Name.
Don't Know Me.
There's another one. Yeah, so we could cover all of those kind of things. So what I was looking at when I put all of this together was the fact that sometimes we wonder why people don't know who we are as a business. How do we counteract that? How do we market? How do we do different things like that? And then, of course, on the personal side, sometimes we feel like we're being ignored, but then all of a sudden somebody shows up and says, I know you. It kind of makes you feel famous at that point. So that's kind of where we were going on this one. So anyhow, we'll start off with the business side. Oh, we got some comments. I bet it's good morning, Helene. How are you? Actually, it's afternoon because it's after 12 o'clock. Yes. So
thank you so much for our sponsors.
Oh, you want me to go there? Yes, let's do that. There we go.
iBuildSEO.com. You'll see them in the mid-roll. A2 promos. That's A squared programs. A2 promos for all your swag needs. Ink182.com for all of your embroidery and screen printing needs. And then we have Embellish Butterfly that does all of the blingy bling bling that I like to use. Oh, where is it? There it is. And then we have my friend EuropeanHeels.com /discount /Marcel. We are going to change that, by the way.
That so needs to be changed. Yeah. But I don't think she has a choice at this point.
She doesn't really have a choice. Maybe we'll put a QR code. You just
scan it. Everybody knows her name, but it's long.
Yeah.
So anyway, working with businesses.
How can they find us?
How can they find us? Well, that's one of those things that we're talking about, right? Uh-oh, I found the wrong button. Like us and subscribe us on Rumble and Facebook and YouTube and all of those other things. And of course, listen to us on your favorite podcast formats such as Spotify and
that's a lot of
Apple's and I could go through lots of them, but
that's a lot of ands.
Mm-hmm.
Go to your favorite platforms.
Figure out where the heck you want to go and listen to us. And if you already have heard us, you already know where we're at.
Yeah, you're here.
Uh-huh.
Thanks for joining us. Share the live stream.
Share the love. And then, of course, if you want to consolidate all that down, go to DenimAndPearlsLive.com and you will find out what's going on and all those other fun things. Are we done now? We got all the fun stuff?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, Michael. He had to put that in there. As of Monday, I was given, I am officially Dr. Michelle Mross. From the International University of Entrepreneurship.
A round of applause.
Out of Hawaii. Yeah. It's so anticlimactic to me. There's no party. There's nothing. It's just.
That's because we haven't created one.
No, because I've been traveling.
Mm-hmm. If you wouldn't be tripping all the time.
Yeah, I'm always gone. And then this Sunday, I'll be on the 19th, Father's Day. I'll be up in Denver celebrating my TV launch with Sally Weir.
Yes. Fun stuff.
You can come there.
Was that in there? I'll be there.
No, I didn't.
Oh, nope. It's not on here.
No.
Not on here.
Oh, darn it. We should probably put that in there somewhere.
Yeah, somehow, some way.
I'll share it in the comments. How about that?
So
what are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about everything that you just talked about.
Like what?
Sharing your name, putting your name out there. What format are you using to get your business out there? How do people know who you are and where you are? And better yet, what you do?
Well, and that's been a really big problem for me because a lot of people just assume that I'm a podcaster, a TV host, and that I speak. No one realizes that I coach. And then when they see that I coach, they do, oh, well, she's a coach that I couldn't work with her, or she only does speaking coaches. No, I do executive speaking coaching, but I don't announce it because people seek me out when they need me.
Right.
And people don't just say, hi, you're an international, global, crazy, award-winning speaker.
Mm-hmm.
I've never spoke a day in my life. When you work with me, it doesn't happen. So I don't worry about it, because it's the people who are already out there who do, Michelle, can you polish me up? And so when people find out I'm a coach, they do, I didn't know you were a coach. I do.
Right.
I'm a coach with the John Maxwell team. I'm a leadership coach.
Right.
And so it's really weird that here I am all over the place. You see me everywhere, but not everybody knows what I do.
Well, this is the same with me. I mean, I DJ and KJ, and I do the speaking, and I do all of this stuff. And a lot of people don't know that I'm a finance guy. Mm-hmm. But you've got to talk about it at one point. That's number one. You always have to talk about it. I mean, if you were to start up a new business like a wrecker service or something, aren't you going to hand out cards and tell your friends that I started a new wrecker service? If you ever wreck your car, put this in your wallet and call me. You know, there's those kind of things out there. So that there's always that kind of stuff. But we all do so many things. But when it comes to our business, we still do a whole lot of things. So I was thinking when we put this together was not only the fact of having to express who you are and what you do. I was thinking more or less, how do I get my word out on Facebook? How do I get my word advertised? Is it something that comes naturally?
And see, what came to mind about all of that is a lot of us know how to get things on Facebook, but what are we putting on Facebook and social media? That's the more important one, because if your message isn't clear, then people don't really know what it is. There always has to be a call to action when you want something to be completed, you know? Mm-hmm. You know, they say, hey, I've got a new ice cream shop on the corner of 25 and blah, blah, blah. And they do, great, good for you. It has to be, I have an ice cream shop on the corner of 25 and blah, blah, blah. Come join, come visit us. We are open from 9 to 5 and specials are from 1 to 2. You have to be very specific, because people will just do, oh, that's cute.
Well, that's your call to action.
Yeah, you have to.
You always have a call to action, no matter what you do. Even if you put a little Facebook post about, for instance, like karaoke tonight, I just posted a whole bunch of stuff out there, but I have to say where I'm at, which gives them credit. I have to say who I am, which gives me credit. Yeah. And then be there, bring your friends. These are all calls to action that you have to use in order to market your business and yourself, of course. Aline wants an M&M. But all of these come into play in order to get the word out. But sometimes we feel like we're ignored. Because we look at, for instance, I'm putting this event together, which is kind of a mini Galaxy Fest kind of a deal here in another week and a half. And I've put it out there, and I like watching the numbers grow on who shared it and who's like this and who's like that. But it's still one of those things. It's like, I don't know if there's going to be enough people. I do know, but I don't know for sure if there's going to be enough people. So all I can do is keep putting the word out. And you know what they say, it takes at least 7 times for people to see it before they'll act on it.
Well, and that's why I keep putting out an Eventbrite. And then I made a Facebook event group, because some people will RSVP for an event group on Facebook, but then never click the next button to actually buy the ticket.
Right.
And so that's the other problem is, like my event on Sunday, the TV premiere, it's free. But because it's an Eventbrite, people just assume there's a price tag to it. It's free. It's a party. Come celebrate. It's free. Click the Eventbrite, because we need a number to give to the caterer. That's the only reason.
Oh, I keep forgetting to put that on there.
Yeah, you really need to do that.
You know, my numbers are 2.
But that's it, is that the caterer is watching that number. And that's why.
Oh, the caterer is watching.
So when you do those kind of things, click on the Eventbrite. Click on those Eventbrites, because when you're doing an event, like Brian, he's like, I wonder who's coming. Or he sees a lot of people saying, I want to go, I want to go. But there's no guarantee until someone clicks a button and says, I will be there. And all that does is it's that extra confirmation that they're really going to be there. Not, I really want to go. I just think about it. Oh, I forgot about it. Eventbrite will put it on their calendar so they don't forget.
I'm laughing at Aline. She gave my red ball to the dog. I totally forgot about my red ball.
She was talking about it on my other podcast Wednesday.
Nice.
Because Sally Ware was on the podcast.
Yeah.
And she has, Sally, I've got Brian's red ball.
Well, now she gave it to the dog. So Facebook. Yeah. Huh?
Be prepared.
Well, as part of it's be prepared too, but it's how do you get getting your business out there? Sometimes we get our business out there, we think we're doing well, and then nothing happens. Then we also have the opposite thing where we think nothing is happening, but everybody is seeing it. Everybody is watching it. Everybody knows what's going on.
Well, that's what's happening on Sunday. On the Facebook, no one's really clicking on it. But on the Eventbrite, there's 60 people who have already 68 people who've RSVP'd. Yes. Right. But when Sally got her emails back, there are over 80 people coming.
Nice.
So we are prepared for all of you. Don't worry, we have great food. Come on over.
Well, the other thing is too, even if you build an event, there's always rules to an event. And being the numbers guy that I kind of am, being in this world, in this realm, if you plan a wedding and you
50% is going to show up,
right? You send out 100 invitations, you're going to get about 50 people that actually show up. And you know what? You know how many brides I've seen that are so mad because only 50 people showed up out of the 100 invitations they sent, and they planned for 100 people.
Well, whoever was helping them with the planning should have told them that, because that's standard knowledge.
Right. But still people get upset.
Never plan for the full number because it's not going to happen.
Right. If 50% is always the best thing.
We understand. It's okay.
50% is always the standard, and 50% plays is a number, a key number in a whole lot of things. The other number that's always a key is 10%. The top 10%. We always hear about the top 10 richest people, 10% richest people in the country. We always hear about the top 10 best business or 10% businesses. We always hear about that stuff, but those numbers are so true. Mm-hmm. So if you own a small business and you have got a turnkey business and you've got a bunch of people under you and you have 100 people, those top 10 people are going to be your producers.
It's called the 80-20 rule. It's actually top 20.
Well, actually, no.
It's 80-20.
Yeah, but you're talking about your 10 top producers are your mainstay.
They're the ones
then the next 10%.
They're doing the 80% of the work.
Right. The next 10%, though, is your, I'm going to do a little here and I'm going to do a little there. Then everybody else below that, they're worthless. They do one every year kind of thing. Or they're only in it for the free shoes that they get, or the free makeup, or whatever it is. That's what, 80% of it is. And then 10% is
do the work.
I'll do it here and there. Or 10%, I'll do a little bit here and there, keep busy, maybe make a couple bucks here and there, get lucky and make a sale. Then there's a 10% that says, I'm going to do it. And they make it work. And I don't care what it is. Even if you look at the fact, a lot of people look at volunteers. How many people volunteer to help out at an event? It's usually 10% of the people that's been reached. If you look in your community and you're trying to put a community thing together, if you've got 10,000 people in your community, there's only 1,000 people who are actually going to help volunteer. And some of those people do double duties with the church and this organization and that organization.
What's our topic?
I don't know, but I just transitioned over. Let's go back to our banner. It's don't even know my name. So even then, we kind of transitioned off and we squirreled.
Yeah, we got to come back to it because I'm getting lost now.
So don't even know my name. It's about getting your word out there and understanding how you're getting your word out there.
Okay. So here's another bit I learned about Facebook. Don't put serious stuff on Facebook. If it's not a party, it's the only thing that really responds on Facebook. And I know that sounds really weird, but when you're having conferences and stuff like that, it gets the word out. But when people actually sign up, it's away from Facebook. Facebook is a lot of people who just want to look and put smiley faces and say, oh, that's nice. But they don't move. They don't do anything.
Right.
If you want someone to move, it's usually on LinkedIn. Instagram is also a looky-loo. People just like to look. And so that's why we talk about Eventbrite and getting people to commit to something, right, is by making that event page on your Facebook page so that you can actually, it says we're supposed to go on our podcast.
Your clock's behind.
Yeah. But anyway, we digress.
We have digressed a little bit. So
don't even know my name. Make sure your message is clear so that when you are talking about what you do and what you provide or what you bring to the world, they know what it is. So I've met so many people who say, what do you do? They do, well, I bring joy to the world. How do you do that? Well, they do that because they want you to ask more questions. But the folly with that is if you ask them that in an elevator and you don't have a chance to respond with that, you just do, oh, they bring joy to the world. That's nice. So you have to be able to say, I bring joy to the world.
They sing during Christmas.
Yeah. I bring joy to the world by blah, 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 blah. You can find me by my name. It's here. Let me airdrop it to you.
Right.
And do it quick. Because if they don't know who you are, what you do, you're just an elevator ride.
We're not going there. Leave that one alone.
Love in an elevator. Okay. I can't.
Now you really messed me up because I had something completely in the same thing. Oh, I know what it was. The one term, and it's kind of generic across the board, but the one term that I really can't stand is when you ask somebody what do they do, or who they're looking for, their demographic or what have you, and they look at you and go, anybody who has skin.
98.6.
I don't get it. Why would you use that in order to do an elevator speech, like you said? Everybody who has skin, or everybody who drives a car, or everybody who owns a cell phone.
I was like, unless you're a dermatologist, it would be everybody who has skin who's having issues.
Well, yeah, it could be issues, or they want to get rid of their wrinkles.
Yeah, you got to be more specific, because not everyone, despite how much you love your product, not everyone is your client.
Right. I mean, if you're doing stuff we're using skin for an example here, so I'm not picking on anybody, but if you let's say you're using a moisturizer or a hand lotion, everybody who has skin, well, that's great. But what about that 4-year-old? I don't think they're your target market, or you may even have the fact that you've got an 80-year-old or a 90-year-old or a 100-year-old who doesn't really give a.
I'm having hair problems.
So you need everybody who can comb your hair. Anyway, let's do our commercials.
Okay, save me for myself.
Yeah, we will. We'll be right back and we'll talk about personal things.
Okay.
Contractors, do you need better cash flow, quality leads, better projects? Rise above your competition by proving you do better work. Make a solid first impression with strong reviews. Establish your credibility by showcasing your skills. Extend your reach so you can land better jobs with better clients. iBuild SEO will set you up for success with your search engine optimization, website development, social media marketing, content marketing, reputation management, review request system with the power of more, utilizing the construction contractor's digital dominance method. Book your time to speak with us today at ibuildseo.com and click on the Get Started Now button.
Thank you for joining us on the porch. We share the nuances and lessons we've garnered from throughout our combined 40 years of life experiences. Talk from the porch is always serious, but full of laughter, and we're glad you're here with us. Like, share with a friend, and please subscribe to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. And remember, join the conversation every Friday at noon Mountain Time. We'll see you on the porch. Welcome back to the porch. My name is Michelle Moras.
I'm Brian Swanson.
And he's also the bad clicker buttoner personer.
That reminds me of the old Bud Light commercials. The bad clicker upper person. We salute you. Sure.
Yeah, it's like he's got one job. Click the dang button. We're sitting there doing.
So, to the personal side of you don't even know my name.
Okay.
I'm thinking along the lines of I know you'll get it. I don't know if our audience will get it, but the Mr. Cellophane concept.
Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, won't you say my name, Mr. Cellophane? Basically.
Got that in there for Helene.
Yes, I did.
I actually rigged that one. I knew it was coming. So, do you think that you're not being seen?
Cellophane is you see through it, right?
Everybody sees through you.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't recognize the fact that you're there.
Because as he says, you can walk right by me, look right through me, and never know my name. Right. And sometimes we feel invisible in a crowded room. And How do we resolve that? How do we fix that? Or do we just accept it?
This is one that I struggle with, as you know. Okay. What do you do? And I'm not asking, that's kind of a rhetorical question, but there are things that you can do. There's things that you can do as far as your personality goes. There's things as far as your look goes. Maybe you change and grow a beard. Okay, ladies, maybe not, but maybe you would definitely get some attention, but I don't know about these days. You never know. But anyway, do you change the way you dress? Do you change the way that your hair looks? Do you change the makeup that you use? The jewelry that you wear that might draw attention? These are all ideas that may or may not work.
Hi, my name is Michelle Moras, and I'm a coach for executives for speaking. But what I do with that is body language. I do body language. And so what you do, and when you feel like you're not being seen, it's the energy you're putting out. Mm-hmm. So you change the energy. And so one of the things I tell people to do is have a song in your heart, in your head, in your mind, whatever it is, that makes you feel energized, kind of pumped up, and play it through your head, because then you stand up differently. Mm-hmm. Your eyes sparkle, and you kind of look around with a smile, because people don't approach people who don't smile. But if you have too much of a smile, they think you're crazy. So it's enough of a smile that
Knuckin' futz.
Yeah, not futz. Just enough of a smile that your lips kind of turn up. And that's about it. And so when you're scanning the room, you look approachable. That's one of the very first things you can do when you feel like you're being invisible. Changing your clothes, your makeup, and everything, it doesn't matter. Because if you change all of that, but the inside of you still, the light isn't on, the light is not on. It has to come in from inside. Has nothing to do with the outside.
Well, there's books on magnetic attraction and everything else on how you can attract people to you. And these are all things, and I'm sure there's a lot of that and a lot of that you just passed on.
Yep.
I'm also thinking of the fact that don't even know my name, is the fact that people don't see you at all, or you don't, you're out there, you're posting and you're doing this and you're doing that, you're constantly advertising your business. You're constantly advertising you, and you don't think, let me finish. And you don't think that anybody sees it because the numbers aren't there. But then all of a sudden you find out that everybody's following you.
Okay, so here's my thing. I have a personal one on that one. I used to do Facebook Lives on Facebook, okay? Mm-hmm. And that's why they're called Facebook Lives. And I would do them every week on Wednesday Wisdom. I would have one person watching, 2 people watching. Mm-hmm. And I thought, why am I even doing this? Maybe I should stop.
Yep.
And so I stopped. And then I got messages from people doing, where are you? I'm like, okay, I've never seen you on any of my lives. And so I came back on, and then I'd have 6 people, 5 people, 6 people. And I'm like, this is a big waste of time. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And then I got a call. Michelle, we'd like you to be on the Discovery Channel. We've seen your Facebook Lives. And I'm like, what? I mean, there's only 4 people watching. There's replays and people are resharing. You don't know who is seeing what you are putting out there. So be the best version of you, be unapologetic about it, and turn it on. Now, because I have no makeup on and my hair's a mess today, I can guarantee you this is probably going to be the highest rated show we have. It will go everywhere. So just want you to know, you always want to show up with your best. And in this case, I'm gym ready and I have no makeup on because I don't want to look bougie when I'm going to the gym. There's really no sense in wearing makeup at the gym. Anyways.
Well, we are business casual.
I am being real. But anyways.
But there is something as summer casual. I don't think we're there yet.
The other thing that I thought was really funny was I have a friend.
I have one of those
too. She posts and no one comments on anything. No, she doesn't get any new business, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, I didn't see your post. And she says, well, here. And she tried to share it to me. She had her settings on her Facebook to like only me. So only she was seeing it. Oops. So check your privacy settings, because sometimes Facebook does little glitches and it changed her to only me. Sometimes it says only friends. If you have a business, you have to put it to public or no one else sees it. And even if you're saying, well, I'm just going to share with my friends and they can share with their friends. No, if you have it on only friends, even if your friends get it, they can't share it beyond you.
That's where you get that little block. can't be
Can't
viewed
view.
at this time or
So
whatever.
keep in mind those kind of things, because if you've been posting, you're being consistent, and the numbers aren't changing and people aren't sharing, check those.
You know, the other
privacy
thing that I
settings.
found out too, and it really makes sense.
Yeah.
When I shared the mini convention that I'm doing, I originally shared it out of the Galaxy Fest fan club page.
Yep.
And when I did, everybody's like, I can't see anything. I can't see anything. Well, come to find out,
It's a private page.
it was a private group. So everybody who was already a member was seeing it. But if they shared it, nobody else could see it because they weren't part of the group.
Yeah.
So I ended up having to put it over on the venue side. And so it's public and everybody can see it. Because once you turn a group private,
It's locked.
it's done. You can't.
And that's why
can't
when you
undo
do
it.
anything like that, the way Facebook's algorithm is, if you have it on your Facebook page, let's say you put something on your private page, your personal page, and then you shared it to another page and then shared it to another page, the more you share it, the less it's seen. Especially if you put a link or say there's a link or
What did you just say?
When you take something, let's say I have my personal page and I have a business page. If I take my personal page, I put something on it, and then I just hit share and I share it to my business page, it drops the number of people who get to see it. So what you want to do is whatever you put, cut and paste the wording that you want, right?
Right.
And then go to the page and full out repost. Don't share it. Repost it into the group. Repost it into the page.
I see what you mean.
Because when you share it, it degrades the algorithm. And when at all costs.
Do you even know what that means?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. That's a pretty high techy kind of thing. Degrades the algorithm?
Yeah, it degrades how it's counting and who it's letting it seen. Now, if you put a link in it that isn't on Facebook, it'll also change it and it will let less people see it because it doesn't want anyone to leave Facebook. So if you're going to do something like that, put your post. If it's a Facebook link, great. If it's another post going somewhere else, use the verbiage of, for more information, look in the comments or something like that. And then in the comments, put it. Okay.
Interesting.
That's something I learned from C-Rock, Mike C-Rock Sirocco.
Somebody that's an SEO person.
Mm-hmm. He said, do not do that because they're lowering it and they're blocking it. No one's seeing it.
Well, that sucks.
Mm-hmm. That's why I go through in the morning. I go through and I post full things, and then my VA does, and she posts everything because you can't just share it around like I used to. It just gets lost. I know that.
Does that work with Hootsuite too? Kind of the same way?
No, Hootsuite because it goes from one place. It actually
goes individually to each one. Wow.
Learned something new today.
We did, but that has absolutely nothing to do with personal. You don't know who I am.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's a good one for personal.
So that was your turn to squirrel.
Yeah. Well, here's a good one for personal. Think of all the makeup products out there. Okay. Women can look on TikTok. They transform their faces. I mean, you don't even recognize the person once they put the makeup on. You're like, oh my gosh, it's a goddess. Then they take off their makeup. You do, who? What is that? Okay. They're so transformational with makeup that men go out and meet women and think they're married or dating this goddess. And then they find out
they're going to meet a goddess.
Or they're going to meet a goddess or whatever. And then they get married, they have kids, and their kids don't look anything like the mom and nothing like the dad. This happened to a friend of a friend. And they were like, the guy's like, our kids don't look anything like either one of us. And she said, oh, I had a body lift and facial reconstruction, and she had everything done. Everything. So even when you went to see her family, she didn't look like her family. And so I'm kind of thinking that's going to happen with the Kardashians. But that's another thing, is that in this world of superficialness, people put on so much and so much show that they aren't who they are. On Facebook and social media, they pretend to be more successful, pretend to have everything together, and they're actually broke as broke. And they look nothing like that. I've had so many, I've told you this, get on podcasts and they get on the screen. They do, oh my gosh.
This is really you.
That's you. I do. Who is it supposed to be? They do. You look like your picture. It's because there's so much going on where people are doctoring their pictures or they're selfieing with whatever, and everything's blurry and no one looks like themselves. No one knows you because you're not letting anyone know you. Go be you. There.
Well, I would agree with that. The other thing that I've gotten this fixation lately with like Reels and TikTok, and I don't even have TikTok.
He doesn't have TikTok.
I don't even do TikTok. However, when you look on Facebook, they've got these little mini things. They're called Reels or whatever they call them. It's always really kind of cool to see some of this stuff and see some of the stunts that are pulled off and all this other things. And then you find the one where it says, this is how they accomplished the video. And they got some dude in a green screen outfit.
Yeah.
It just totally destroys everything to me because you think everything is like really cool. And it's like, well, that's just not physically.
Because we can do movie magic.
Yeah.
With this.
Yeah. On the little things.
Before people had to be like, go to school and learn all this tech stuff. We push a button, it erases things out of a picture. You're like.
So people are learning who you are because of the fakeness that you put out.
So no one knows you.
But they're making money off of it. So what's, it's a catch-22.
No, I'm just thinking like in relationships, since we're in personal, when they do, Brian doesn't understand me because, he keeps doing this and I don't want to do this and I don't want to go there. And I'm thinking, listen, when you were dating him, you were all happy all the time and you always look so perfect. And then you're always drinking your martini and you ate like a bird. And then you married him. You completely changed. You are not the person you presented in the first place. Same with men. I've met men who are just polished. And then when they got married, it was like, they gained weight. They stopped doing their hair.
Wait a minute. Time out. You're talking about all men.
Yes. So be the real you when you're dating. Be the real you when you meet people for business. Because how do you do business and how do you have a relationship if no one's met the real you? And then when the real you comes up, we all do. What happened?
Yeah.
Is she having a bad day? No, that's her. Is he having a bad day? No, that's him. Be real and you'll have real relationships. Be fake and you will have relationships that will fail because you're not real.
I think there's a line, though. I really think there's a line because, for instance, if we came on this podcast,
I'm glad, John.
Yeah, hi, John. I was going to say hi, John.
No, he says share versus repost. Yeah,
right.
It's huge.
Right. I was going to say hi, John, anyway, because he usually doesn't show up. What was I going to say? Oh, I think there's a fine line with what you just said because we can't come on the podcast and be totally down and out because our mood is bad.
I didn't say show up like a slob because you can.
Well,
okay. I'm saying I always say be the best version of you every day.
Right.
Right.
And I agree with that.
So be the best version of you. What I'm saying is don't be fake. Right. So you can be glammed out. You've seen me on stage. I glam out all the time.
Right.
Matter of fact, I love to glam out. It's part of me. But when you talk to me, I'm not, because no, that's not me. I'm still going to be this lady.
I thought those people were genuine
with makeup. Like okay, that's it. But be real. And that's really, I think, a problem with our world today is people meet each other on social media or whatever, swipe left things, whatever that stuff is. And whatever it is they're not real. So have real discussions. Don't make up stuff to make people think to like you more. They'll like you as you. And if they don't, then they're not part of your world. They shouldn't be there. If you're censoring everything you do.
Yeah, but if you're a gloomy person, you don't want to show that gloominess to somebody that's out there all the time.
Then don't be gloomy. Work on that.
I agree with that.
If you're gloomy all the time.
There's some people that, just read their Facebooks. No. Just read their posts. They're constantly gloomy. And I'm using that word to be kind.
I know. So my thing is they're not always gloomy. They just like to share dirty laundry so that people will help them. Okay. So if you are having those issues and you're gloomy, work on yourself before you go to the world. Because honestly, everyone out there says, what's in it for me? Mm-hmm. They're not saying what's in it for the person who sat on Facebook. They're saying, what's in it for me? And they see your thing. They do, oh, that's terrible. Sucks to be them. Glad I'm not them. That's what's going through their head. Find someone who loves you, someone who cares.
Okay, what about this? Fake it till you make it.
Nope, that's bullshit.
Well, you got to have some kind of pretension. Not pretension. That's not the word I'm looking for. Pretend. You got to have something in that.
No, when you have a goal, have it in your head and you walk towards it like you already live it and it's just running into you. You're not faking it. You are the person you are in that moment. Be that person. That is not faking it. That's being it.
Well, we've got that other thing now that we call it too.
What?
Imposter syndrome.
Yes.
You don't think that's too credible?
You're not an imposter for anything. And if you feel like you shouldn't be somewhere, like I was just telling my husband the other day, I have, if he has, we made a spreadsheet, okay, of everything I've ever done, every podcast, every book, every quote, you name it, everything. And I saw this Excel sheet, and it's pages upon pages upon pages. And I looked at that and I went, who is that lady? 3 seconds of imposter syndrome. Okay. I'm not going to look at that spreadsheet and do, well, that's not me. I couldn't have done that. No, you did it. Own up to it. You're there.
Well, what's really nice about that? I mean, you had Michael do it, so that's awesome. Cool.
Well, I didn't have him do it.
Well,
my husband is anal retentive and likes to track things, and so he did it.
But when I was trying to put together some kind of a biography or whatever here a couple of weeks ago, I went to some of the places that, like my LinkedIn page, and there was stuff on my LinkedIn page because I don't have a husband to put a spreadsheet together for me or a wife, but
he has a wife. She just won't do a spreadsheet.
Yeah, exactly. She's not going to do the spreadsheet for me. But I found things on there that I had posted years ago. And I was like, oh, yeah, there's actually some credibility behind some of these things that I did because I totally forgot about them. So if you think if you're trying to put something together and you can't think of stuff, look back at some of your old profiles. Look back at different things that you may have put out there where you recorded things. You just don't remember what you recorded.
Or that's what I have my husband for, because he makes sure everything.
All credit to Michael today.
Yeah, he's freaking rocking because I'm very driven and I move very quickly and I go. I don't sit around and think for hours and days and weeks. I just go. And as I'm moving, my husband does, so what did you do now? So what I just do is I just tag him in all my calendar events so he knows something's happening. And that way he tracks me easier because I have a brain injury. Don't forget, I do have a brain injury and I forget what I've done yesterday. I thought yesterday was Friday.
I do that all the time.
All day.
That has nothing to do with your brain injury.
This morning, I thought it was Saturday.
Well, because you thought yesterday was Friday.
And then my husband was home, so I thought it was Saturday. I'm like, okay, so are we going to do this and this and this? And he went, I'm at work. I said, why are you working on a Saturday? He goes, it's Friday.
But I went through the same thing on Wednesday. I thought it was Thursday, and I kept calling Friday tomorrow. So that's not your brain injury.
Okay, well,
that's just either lack of sleep or too busy about what's going on.
I'm too busy.
What was the other thing? Tripping. You're always tripping, so you don't know where you're at.
I don't know what time zone I'm in.
So you can't blame that one on brain injury. We all do that one.
Well, no, because my brain injury is because I think it's more sensitive to things like that. But anyway.
So anyhow, I think we should clear this out with
know me.
Wrapping it up with what?
Bottom line. If you feel like you aren't being seen in your business or in your personal life, it's up to you to make that change. In your business, be very clear about your messaging about who and what you serve. Okay. What you serve. Yeah. Who you serve
and what you serve,
what you do. Yeah. And then in your personal life, be you, authentically you. I'm not saying be a slob and not shower because you don't feel like it. And I don't know why no one wants to be around me. No, that's personal hygiene.
That's different.
Okay? Yeah, that's different.
That's different than sitting home for 3 days and not going anywhere.
Yes. So just work on you, and you know where your issues are, where you think you can improve. Go on YouTube. Go take a course. Go watch a couple of inspirational videos. Watch Denim and Pearls. I mean, heck, do what you need to do to get out of whatever rut you're in. But if you want to be seen, you have to be seen from the inside out. You have to shine as you, not clothes, not makeup, not heavies, cologne. None of that's going to work. It has to be you. Once you're comfortable in your own skin, the world will see you.
I'm going to end this with something that I seen the other day, and you brought these people up a few minutes ago. Did you see where one of the Kardashians put on the Marilyn Monroe
And she ripped
Kennedy outfit
She
and ripped it.
Yeah.
So don't try to be somebody else that you definitely ain't.
Her booty, really?
I'm not going there. I didn't say that.
Marilyn Monroe did not have a booty.
No, she didn't. Anyhow, let's call it a day.
Until next time. Wait.
Oh, yep. Got to get those out.
Peace.
Peace.